My name is Temitoppe, you've heard. I'm CEO Elegance Inspired Limited, a corporate branding company. And my mission is simple, is to shape how African brands show up, grow, and succeed. And I'm truly excited to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi Jubal, for this wonderful opportunity and putting together such a phenomenal event. So, Africa is more than we have been told, all right? Africa's story is more than what has been projected out there, okay? We are oftentimes associated with poverty. We are oftentimes associated with hunger. We are oftentimes associated with crime. We are oftentimes associated with, the negative stuff. But I'm here to say to you that we are a country or a continent rich in diversity, so rich in culture, full of innovation. I mean, Nigeria is known as the giant of Africa and, rich in heritage. And our story has been frequently misinterpreted. And we are here to change that. So please, a round of applause for yourselves. Yeah, I had a slide I was to show up, but we had one or two glitches. So I'm speaking on the topic rebranding Africa. What must we do to rebrand Africa? How can we achieve a new brand image for Africa? I don't know if you know that Africa is known as the cradle of mankind. How many of us know that? That you trace it back, humankind was known to start from Africa. I mean, when I was doing my research, when I studied all the work I was doing in Africa, I was so amazed that mankind in general was traced back to Africa. Super excited, and it's an amazing thing to know. So, my goal today is to shift your view, your perspective on what Africa is. The stereotypes frequently associated with us is not of a good one, all right? So Africa is made up of 54 countries, each with its own strengths, cultures, and economies. Today we see a continent full of innovation, energy, and growing people. Very, very important. I know that a lot of people have misrepresented us globally. People are scamming people online. People are doing a whole lot of stuff to defame our country. But it's our responsibilities, it's our civic duty and our duty to our country to be ambassadors of Africa and Nigeria as well. Okay, so how we show up, how we do things in the marketplace, how we deliver is going to help shape a new perspective of what Africa is and what we have to offer. So why rebrand Africa now? So we need to rebrand Africa because we need to shift the perspective of how people perceive Africa. Remember, branding is perception, okay? Branding is how people see you, so it's the perception. So we are looking at Africa as a continent. How can we rebrand it? So why do we want to rebrand it? So here is why rebranding matters. Number one is for a stronger economy. So a better image brings in investors, VCs, and people to invest in Africa, boost our trade economy, and help local businesses grow. Okay, so number one is a strong economy. Number two is to retain our talents. And number three is to boost tourism. So when people know that they are safe when they come to Africa, oftentimes when people go online, all they see is, they'll kidnap you if you go to Africa. So you see white men moving all around with military guys, just to keep them safe. But that's not what it is. You can actually move freely. We're not seeing people with guns on the streets. I have a friend who's lived better part of his life in America, and he told me there are cockroaches in America. There's trash on the streets. Yes, There's trash on the streets of America. You see people begging on the road, but you don't see America and Americans project that online, even offline. But you see in Nigeria, there's a small flood in Lekki, and we are there blasting, we are taking pictures, we are posting, we are telling the world this is what's happening. Nigeria is bad. You need to leave this country, and that's why the Japa syndrome. I'm not an enthusiastic person about the whole Japa thing. I'm one of the persons that believe Nigeria is going to work, and I hope that you believe that as well. So please, I want us, if you don't get anything from my session, please note that you are an ambassador of Nigeria and Africa at large. So you need to help us shape that perception. Let's not take out the negative stuff. Let's project what is working, okay? There are things that are working in this country as well, and in the continent as large, okay? We have great tech guys, agri-tech, fintech, Money Point, all these guys doing amazing stuff in the finance industry and in so many industries at large. So please, let's project what's working. Let's shape the narrative that Africa is a bad place, Africa isn't working. Instead, let's do something. You're complaining that there are no jobs. What are you doing as a person to create employment? People are in poverty. So what would you do to create jobs and bring people out of poverty? So I think we should be more solution-oriented than projecting the things that are not working in our country. And it's not everything that's about the government. We are the people, all right? So we said democracy is people, for the people, by the people, all right? So it's us that are meant to project the good stuff. So why do we need to rebrand Africa? I'll go again. Sorry, you can't see my slides. Number 1, stronger economy. Number 2, to retain our talents. Number 3, to boost tourism, okay? Let people come and see the beauty of Africa. I have people that come from all parts of the world. I've met them and they be like, Abuja is so beautiful. Lagos, the view is incredibly great, okay? They love our culture, they love our food, they love our clothes. So let's project those good stuff and let's boost tourism. And then the 5th one is to give a global perspective, all right? Global influence. A unified, clear brand helps Africa speak with more weight and intentional policy in business and economy. Very important. So how can we rebrand Africa? Number 1, the rebrand initiative of Africa has to be led by Africans. So it begins with us. Okay. We must own, create, and amplify our own narrative. Okay. This is not something that someone will do for us. Okay. We need to be the ones to show up and say, our country is beautiful. Our continent is great. Tech giants are rising from Africa. Innovations are spilling all over everywhere across different sectors. Everything boosting Africa's economy. Okay, so this initiative, Rebranding Africa, please note that it needs to be led by us, Africans. Okay, and number 2 is that it needs to be rooted in truth. Now, there's a controversy around that because we know that some things are not working. There's no doubt about that. But can we leave the things that are not working and focus on the positivity? Let's project Africa as a country, or as a continent, that is growing, has robust economy in view. Things are happening in Africa. So let's display that truth. Let's say that truth out. So the rebrand must be based on real data, facts, and authentic stories. Now, there are people, you won't hear people like Dangote come and say we are poor. A few days ago, I went online on Instagram and someone was saying Nigerians are poor. So he's saying Nigerians are poor, but what are you doing about it to bring them out of poverty? Okay, that's what is important. Okay, so you don't hear people like Dangote come and say we are poor. We are not. Thank you. We are not. Okay, we are rich in culture, we are rich in diversity, we are rich in innovation, creativity. I mean, there was a time that it was stated that, I don't know the analysis, but the best doctors in America at the time were Africans. Nigerians till today. Can you see that? So it says that as Africa, we have what it takes to boost the world's economy. Okay, cocoa is made in Africa. A whole lot of things that the whole world uses comes from Africa. So I think it's important that we hold that narrative and shape it out there. The third one is we celebrate our unique offerings. Okay, for instance, Nigerians' rich tech scheme. Trust me, you don't want to know what's happening in the tech industry. Please, you need to Google it. A whole lot of innovation, a whole lot of creative guys, fintech, agri-tech, all the techs coming from Africa, coming from Nigeria, in fact. So it's something that we should be proud of. You know, our talents, global talents, the best dancers in the world, the best doctors in the world, things like that. So let's help shape that narrative. So let's celebrate our wins instead of our losses, okay? And that will help us craft a compelling continental identity. Remember, I said at the beginning that we are the ones to lead this change. We are the ones who will shape this narrative to the world. So it's important that we do that. Let's not speak down on our country. Let's not speak down on our continent, okay? We know that some things are not working, but please, let's focus on the positivity. And then the fourth step is to look to the future. So it's no doubt that Africa and Africans are solving world's problems. Yes, I've been saying this earlier. Creativity, the tech, all around different industries. So let's look to the future. Let's keep building the future. So I have, sorry, you can't see my slide. I wish you could. The new brand of Africa. Okay, so the new brand of Africa is rooted in innovation and entrepreneurship. That's number one. Fintech, agri-tech. Africa is home to numerous smart and practical solutions. Very, very key for us to note. We have a huge cultural impact. People love Afrobeat all around the world. Davido is going around the world. Burna Boys, they are closing down stadiums. They are shutting down O2 Arena. People love our music. People love our culture. So let's keep projecting that instead of saying, oh, we are full of scam, we are full of negativity and all those negative stuff. And the third way is to be young and energetic, all right? So Africa has the youngest population of people in the world, and it's a strength. And we should be resilient and resourceful. So while challenges exist, we still have to be strong. That's what I'm trying to say to you. While challenges persist, we need to retain our strongness, our creativity, and be united in our communities. So how can we make it happen? Real quick, sorry, I know my time is fast spent. First step is to share one story together. So we need to come together and shape the narrative, okay? Next step is to use digital tools. So social media is not for Nigerians alone. It's a global place. So you don't come up there and say things like, oh, the secondary school I went to was like a prison yard. Okay? Say things like, oh, Lagos is filled with slums. You know, so there are beautiful places in Africa. So another way we should be empower ambassadors. So we need to support African artists, athletes, and entrepreneurs to be the face of the brand, and then protect the rights with partnerships. Very, very important. So another perspective people have is Africa, all we want is to collect grants and aids and funding. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need those things. What I'm saying is people come up with NGOs and all they do is to look for funding, look for monies that they are going. Have you seen those little documentaries where people do documentaries and all they show is the slums, people drinking water from the gutter, you know, all those kinds of things. So we shouldn't project that. Why are we not showcasing Ikoyi? Why are we not showcasing Maitama? Why are we not showcasing the things that are beautiful, the things that work, the parts of the countries that work? Because every country has a slum. Every country has its urban and city. Okay, so it's very important. It breaks my heart a lot when I listen to CNN and you know those documentaries. So sad. I'll be like, this place is in Nigeria. Are you sure? Because all they show is people drinking water literally from the gutter. Yeah. So it is true, but what we're saying is, why are people taking that narrative to the world? They are shaping our narrative that we are poor, we lack water, we lack infrastructure, we lack all those things. I mean, there are skyscrapers everywhere in Ikoyi, there are skyscrapers everywhere in Abuja, but people would decide to take the slum part and show it to the world that this is Africa. Yeah. All right. So, as global citizens, we need to amplify our voice and support the African brands. And for me, so I'm a corporate branding strategist as well. So I would plead to every Nigerian in the marketplace, please show up authentic. Show up delivering your products and services with great customer service, because this is how people will see us. For instance, if I sell fish or something and I export it out of the country, I put it online that I'm selling this, and people pay me for it and they don't get value for their money, that has tarnished our reputation. That American person or someone abroad will say, this is how Nigerians are. So my plea to us is, as people, as Nigerians and as Africans in the marketplace, we need to show up correct, we need to show up authentic and deliver exceptionally. Very, very important, because that's the only way we can protect our reputation. If you don't deliver well, if you don't do things the right way, people will generalize it and say, this is how Africans are. So it's very important. So rebranding Africa is not about image, it's about changing mindsets and building a better future that reflects who we truly are. Okay, thank you so very much.